Welcome back to Adna High School. It's time to wrap up this broadcast with the Alderson's Awards West postgame show. For trophies, awards, T-shirts, and so much more, go to aldersons.net for their full catalog. And welcome back to Adna High School. Paul Beatty along with Tony Davila. For those watching live or on demand, or if you're watching this postgame show in our recap on Eli Sports Network, here's what happened in this 87-47 win by Adna. And Tony, we saw Adna get off to a fast start. They scored 52 points in the first half. They had a 12-0 lead, and even though Wahkiakum made a nice run there in the first quarter to get within 5, they could never really get any closer than that, and Adna just continued to extend that lead. And in fact, Wahkiakum had a decent game, a pretty regular high school game going, with 16 in the first, 14 in the second, 12 in the third, but only ended up with 5 points in the fourth quarter, while Adna ran off 21 to really break that thing open early on in the first minute or so of that fourth quarter, and it was pretty much over.
Yeah, once the fourth quarter started, Adna just pulled away. Wahkiakum started out on a 10-0 run to start the second half.
Yeah.
And
then could only manage one more bucket after that for the entire quarter.
Yeah, it started out really well. It looked like Wahkiakum was going to build on it, start moving up the floor, but once they got to 10, Adna kicked it into gear and ended up outscoring them 16-12 in that third quarter.
Well, after that 10-0 run, it would be a 37-7 run for the rest of the game for the Adna Pirates. And that will definitely put a game away when you're already leading by 22 at the half. Let's get to the individual numbers.
All right, let's go with Wahkiakum first. Their leading scorer was Zachary Carlson with 15 points, all of them from behind the arc. Braden Avalon had 2 points. Dominic Curl with 5. Brody Avalon had 14. Titan Niamela ends up with 5, and Kyler Sauce ends up with 6. That great free throw shooting did not continue into the second half. They were 6 of 7 at halftime, finished 7 of 12 from the free throw line for Wahkiakum.
And part of that was Brody, who went 5 for 5 in the first half, didn't get to the free throw line at all in that second half.
Yeah, that is a big factor there. And as I said towards the end of the game, 8 threes made by Wahkiakum, 5 of them coming from Zachary Carlson in the game. For the Adna Pirates, their leading scorer, Chase Collins, with 28 points, 8 threes made in this game by Chase Collins. Aaron Azelton had 7. Seth Meister with 5. Elaine Johnson had 16. Braden Salmi with 15. Clayton Luce with 2. Tristan Percival with 2. Eli Smith with 9. And Jens Nielsen with 3. They had 14 made threes by Adna, 8 of them coming from Chase Collins. And they did step up that second half in free throw shooting. They were 3 of 6 at halftime, finished 5 of 8 from the free throw line for the game.
And with that, the Pirates move to 5-1, and the Mules will drop to 2-3. Let's get to our MVPs of the game. We'll start with the visiting team. Our visiting team MVP brought to you by Pacific Sports Spa in Chehalis. Pacific Sports Spa can get you back in the game in a hurry and is a leader in rapid recovery and get you game ready at Pacific Sports Spa in Chehalis. And to me, Tony, it comes down to 2, Brody Avalon and Zachary Carlson, and I'm kind of leaning towards Zachary with those threes. He's the one that kind of spurred that first quarter run. He came out and hit those threes, got them close and back in the game. Couldn't maintain that, and he couldn't do it by himself. Brody had a really nice first half, but struggled a little bit in the second half.
Yeah, that's who I was leaning towards as well. Avalon, he was 5 for 5 from the free throw line. He had 11 points at halftime, finishes with 14. Carlson had 9 at halftime, finishes with 15. Both of those threes, I think Carlson was the spark plug. He's the one that helped them get off of the snide. He came in off the bench, hit a couple of threes early, and then him and Chase Collins matched a couple of threes a couple of times up and down the floor.
So Zachary Carlson will be our visiting team MVP tonight, the Pacific Sports Spa visiting team MVP. Time for our home team MVP, brought to you by Thorbeck's Wellness Center in Chehalis, Centralia, and South Bend. Strong today, stronger tomorrow, strongest together at Thorbeck's, and it's Chase Collins.
Yeah, not a whole lot to say there. 8 made threes. He hit a couple in the lane as well. The next one, I thought Elaine Johnson played really well, 16 points for him.
Braden Salmi came on late as well. Very solid. Even though he only had 9 points, I thought Eli Smith, he had a really nice second quarter especially. Got off to a little bit of a slow start offensively, came on. But again, that's the depth of this team, because Aaron Azelton, Seth Meister, Lane Johnson, Braden Salmi, all in the scorebook with Eli Smith. But Chase had one of those nights, 8 threes. You got to reward that with our MVP.
Yeah, 8 made threes. Didn't get to the free throw line, but definitely a shooter on the floor that can really separate himself from everybody else on the floor. 28 points for him. What a night for Chase Collins.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that's going to do it for us tonight here at Adna High School. A reminder, check our broadcast schedule page at EliSportsNetwork.com. Number one, our broadcast schedule is there. And secondly, links to this are right there. Take you right to this page, right where you need to go to watch, so you can check out the games. I think tomorrow I've got Matthew King working somewhere. He's actually working tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, and Saturday. He's going to work with us. Tony and I, we will be up at the Curtis Viking Holiday or Winter Classic Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 12 games, 8 teams battling just an 8-team bracket. Pretty cool tournament up there at Curtis. We'll be there for 4 games on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Until then, have a great rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you next time. One more time, 87-47, Adna the winner here on the Eli and the NFHS Sports Networks.
Thank you for watching and subscribing to the Eli and NFHS Sports Networks.